This is a Chinese eBay weld positioner. They sell them on Amazon, they sell them on eBay. They are, direct from China, factory direct. And they basically sell them as a weld positioning rotary table. This was advertised as having a 2 to, I believe, 20 RPM. And I believe the slower speed is going to help me get a more precise weld, a slower, more even heat throughout the part. We're going to flick the machine on and hit start at the same time. So we had 2 full rotations in 1 minute and 21 seconds. That's not too bad. That's actually slower than 2 RPMs a minute. What really had me concerned is the fact that that dial will not initiate the rotary table until it hits about 2. So I was worried that I wasn't getting the slowest speed available on this unit. However, it looks as though it's more of a manufacturing defect in the switch and the labeling rather than the actual speed of the unit. You may be asking yourself, why would you take this apart to just do a speed test? And there's other reasons why this is apart other than that. I just figured it was easier to do the demonstration like this. There's a couple of reasons this came apart. One of which being the amount of slop in the rotary table itself. There's a lot of backlash when it comes to the gear drive. As you can see, there's a small gear driving the large gear. I did move the motor a little bit closer to the larger gear. So I moved it a little bit closer. I cleaned them up with a little bit of mineral spirits, and there was a lot of metal shavings on each of the gears, kind of all engrossed in that tan, heavy-duty, waxy lubricant that's on these things from the factory. So I stripped all that out, cleaned all that out, and put some fresh grease in, because Lord knows how long this has been sitting on a shelf somewhere. So it came with this kind of off-brand 3-inch or 2.5-inch lathe chuck. It looks more like a wood-turning chuck. So this came apart fairly simply. I basically just stretched this top section wide enough to get the 2 pins out. There are some retaining bolts that kind of hold this in. But if I'm careful, careful being the operative word, I can stretch out the 2 side plates just enough to lock it back in the housing. There's a pretty good sized dent in the housing here with a bunch of paint removed, and that's from this grounding pin hitting the box. So I thought when I purchased this that this box would be able to come out. But unfortunately, this box is screwed right into the base. I'm sure I could take it out if I wanted to and move it separately, but the lead on the motor is so short, there's no real point in taking it too far off. So what's nice about the foot controller is you can turn the machine on, have it ready to go. This emergency stop is hilarious, by the way. This is a complete gimmick. This is a 2-cent piece that they should have put on like children's toys, but they are treating it as like something that should be on the side of a Bridgeport. Anyway, so what's nice about the foot pedal is it's a pretty rugged foot pedal. It is made out of metal. It's small. This is a 3-foot bench and it barely reaches the floor, just because of the way this is set up. So it all depends on how you set yourself up. If you have to turn this sideways and you're working at a 90, you lose about 6 inches off the cord. So you have to bring this whole apparatus all the way to the edge of your table, which can be kind of frustrating. I wish there was about a foot more length on the foot pedal. But what's nice is you can set your speed, you could start your weld, get your puddle started, and then you can push the button. So run that back down to as slow as we had it before. And then you can let go. It does have reverse, so you can go in the opposite direction. And that's about it. I mean, forward, reverse, ground. It is a sprung ground, so there's always pressure on this big piece of copper up against your plate here. So, long story short, is it worth it? No, it's not. It's not worth it if you're actually going to go into production. It's not worth it if you're an experienced welder. a novice like myself who can barely booger weld this together with a TIG torch, it's for me. This is for me. This is to make my life easier in teaching me something. I need to learn how the puddle moves around. I need to learn how arcs work. I need to learn how the behavior of the steel reacts to different amperages. So somebody like me who's just starting out, this is fine for them. A $200, paperweight for the most part, totally fine. Can you, should you, will you go buy, a kit? Will you go buy the plans to go build your own? Not if you're a novice, because maybe you will. Maybe you want that challenge to have your first thing that you build be a tool that you're going to use to build other things. That's totally commendable, and I'm fine with you guys doing whatever you're going to do. But from ease of use, this little $200 thing from eBay is probably, it's going to save me more time than it's worth investing in a higher quality machine or having somebody else do the work for me. I could show you all day how my welds came out just using it. This isn't going to tell you how the machine works. The machine is going to just spin the piece and you're going to weld on it. So your skill is not going to improve by getting one of these machines. Your repeatability and your ability to take one thing out of your equation, which would be feed speed, which would be like I call it feed speed, but your actual weld speed, the speed that you move your torch, can be controlled and can be the control in different things that you change, whether you change the angle, whether you change your arc length, whether you change, the amperage on the machine, whether you're, welding in AC or DC, welding stainless, aluminum, mild steel. That's a long-winded way of saying I recommend this for the novice, for the home guy, for the weekend warrior, the hobbyist. This is not a professional tool by any stretch of the imagination. It does what it does. It does what it does well. I don't know how long it's going to last, if I'm going to have to go buy a Ryobi and swap the motor in for this, or, jerry rig this to run in another year or two. It all depends on what I'm going to use it for. But if I can get 10 jobs out of this, 20 jobs out of this, that's 10. I paid $10 a job to get this, to get me 20 jobs. The cheap hardware is probably the main thing that I am really disappointed with. The cheap chuck, the cheap switches, and the excessively cheap gearing that was put in it, and the hardly any grease, and the metal shavings that were in there, and the only thing I like about it is the frame, and I could have built the frame. If you search for this, now you're gonna find my video, and it's the only one out there. So good luck to you. Hopefully you get a good one. Hopefully yours can actually do what you want it to do. This is not paid, this is not sponsored, this is not endorsed, this was not sent to me for free. This was my money buying this because I need it for something, or I think I need it for something, and it's going to be the easiest way for me to have repeatability in something that I want to start building. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Hit that button down below that says like on it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps you guys out. I wish there was one of these videos out there when I started looking for this, because man, I don't think I would have bought it. But anyway, take it easy. We'll catch you on the next one.